Hi, I'm Tammy.
I'm Lacey.
We are the Nutrition Twins, registered dietitians and personal trainers. And today we are so excited because we are sharing with you 4 surprising ways that you can get rid and lose belly fat. And this is the holiday edition, but the great news is you don't need it to be the holidays. You can use these tips all year round. It's just during the holidays, we have extra stress. We have
extra parties,
extra eating. And so now we can really use these tips to step it up a notch. And we are focusing on
cortisol,
the belly fat hormone.
Here's the thing about cortisol though. It's just not the belly fat hormone. It is also our stress hormone. And while we do need some, we want it to spike in the morning to give us a little oomph to get started with our day. Then we also want it to slowly decline as the day goes on. And generally this is how it should go, except for when we're a little stressed and we want to run from a tiger. So then we call on cortisol, the belly fat hormone, the stress hormone, to help us, give us the oomph kick to do it, to kick it up a notch. However, in our hectic lifestyle, we are constantly calling the cortisol, belly fat hormone out to play. And so when we wake up in the morning, we're running for a train, we're running for meetings, we're stressing our body with food choices, salt, sugars, with drinks, caffeine, alcohol. It all comes into play. And then to top it off, we can't even control it, but the environmental toxins we breathe in, the air,
car fumes,
it all triggers cortisol. So our belly fat hormone is out in full effect all the time.
Overdrive.
So
this
belly fat, it causes inflammation.
And inflammation is the root of all chronic disease.
Well, it's not just the belly fat that causes, belly fat causes inflammation, but cortisol causes inflammation too.
And inflammation is the root of all chronic disease, from cancer to
heart
diabetes,
disease.
All of them. But when it comes to weight loss, cortisol is actually even an inflammation. It's a bigger issue because inflammation makes it harder to lose weight and easier to gain weight.
And so team that up with the belly fat hormone, we're in trouble. But you guys aren't in trouble because we're about to share the great, surprising, easy ways that you can lower cortisol to shut down belly fat and really whittle your waistline even during the holidays. And I'm so excited about our first way to do it is one of my favorites.
It is her favorite.
It's my favorite because it works so well.
It does.
And it's what the research shows, chewing thoroughly, I mean, how easy is that? Takes our body into the parasympathetic system.
Relaxation.
Rest and digest. And what this means is that what's magical here is that as we chew thoroughly, we shut down cortisol, the belly fat hormone. Bye-bye. And instead, we bring out our digestive enzymes. And this is huge because when we're chewing the food, we release the digestive enzymes that breaks down the food so that we can cleave the nutrients that we need to fuel our body and to fight cravings. And this is huge because as you give your body the nutrients that it needs, you also shut down inflammation because your body's running well. So it's this amazing combination. Whereas in our normal day, we are running from tigers. We're stressed. We're running around. We think we're running from tigers, but we're really just had like a confrontation with your twin sister and it didn't end well. And then you go and eat and then your digestive tract
you're stressed.
You haven't chewed.
Food enters the digestion.
Big sizes of food and bacteria can just come and ferment it.
It ferments in your stomach and it causes inflammation. So that
bloating and gas and inflammation.
So it triggers cortisol.
But not only that, you didn't release your digestive enzymes. So in that case, because you didn't release your digestive enzymes, because you didn't chew thoroughly to get yourself into the parasympathetic state, that means that you're able to absorb the calories while the belly fat hormone is out. You're able to absorb the calories, but you're not absorbing the nutrients because you can't cleave them. So that creates inflammation along with that fermented food that's causing bloat and gas. So chew your food thoroughly. And what we see with our clients is really so cool. Especially during the holidays, is that when you chew thoroughly, they find that they actually really enjoy their food more and they take pleasure in it, which what we all want. And especially during all these holiday goodies, they eat less they need less, and their brain has time to get the signal that they've actually gotten full, so they eat less. So that is just amazing. And so,
all right. Number 2, the surprising way that you can reduce your belly fat.
sing it, sister.
Always breathe through your nose. And this is a biggie because nose breathing triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. So it brings on relaxation. It shuts down cortisol. And the interesting thing here too is that when you're mouth breathing and not breathing through your nose, it does the exact opposite. It brings in stress and it makes you feel a little bit more anxious. And the very interesting thing also...
And so you do want to do that during exercise, by the way.
But mouth breathing is fine during exercise. Yeah. That's
totally
one time.
Acceptable.
But the rest of the
there's
time,
a few other times, but you sometimes need to breathe through your mouth. But most of the time, it's going to do you justice to breathe through your nose.
And the thing is, when you breathe through your nose, it actually produces nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a vasodilator. So that means it expands your blood vessels. And when that happens, it helps to get oxygen and nutrients to the brain, to the body. It fights
lowers
fatigue.
your blood pressure. It's good for your heart.
All of the things that help us with our health and the parasympathetic nervous system. So it is pretty incredible. And when you're breathing through your nose, it's very interesting because then all of your body systems are working properly. And when you sleep, actually, interestingly, naturally, you're breathing in through one nostril and then the other, back and forth, naturally. So if you're breathing through your mouth, all of your body processes are not working the way they should. And if you're breathing through your mouth because the nitric oxide is not being created that delivers nutrients throughout your body, you're going to feel fatigued. So if you snore...
And you'll have low energy.
Yes. And then that low energy...
And it really affects you when you wake up in the morning.
And that low energy triggers cravings, and then it makes you overeat later in the day. So if you snore or you're sleeping next to someone who snores, definitely get it checked out. Go to a sleep expert because more than likely that person, if it's you or whoever you're sleeping next to, wakes up,
and doesn't feel energetic.
Right. You'll wake up feeling tired.
Right.
Because you're not getting oxygen well throughout your body because the nitric oxide.
I was such a smart kid. Sorry to cut you off. I just realized how smart I was as a kid. Okay, so when Tammy and I would mess with her when she was sleeping because sometimes, and so what I did was I'd put a little clamp on her nose.
You're so mean.
Oh my God, I knew there was something to it, but I didn't realize it was making her totally tight. Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Those were the days when you could just get away with clamping your sister's nose in her sleep. Anyway,
so mean.
I was
so
totally
mean.
onto it. What I will tell you about breathing through the nose that I have used for myself and magically with my clients, especially if you get a craving. Here's the thing. This took a little practice. I'm not going to lie. I would practice my nose breathing, but when I get around food, when I know I've had enough and I just have a craving, I breathe in through my nose. And sometimes it just takes then breathing out that one moment to bring me into the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest, takes me out of that fight or flight, give me food mode. And I conquer the craving. And I've had my clients do this and it works for them too. I have to say, remember, it does take a little practice. So try it a little bit first, practice the breathing on your own, but then put it to practice when you really want it. And it is amazing for those cravings.
The other thing I wanted to mention about the nasal breathing when you sleep. So of course, it's creating nitric oxide, which helps us to energize our brain and our body. But the other interesting thing why it's so important for nasal breathing is those little nose hairs, cilia, actually filter out particles and they filter out viruses,
allergies,
and toxins, allergens. They prevent them from going directly into your lungs. So instead, they get caught in those little nose hairs. It's actually a protective mechanism. So guys, and girls, if you use those little weed whacker tools for cosmetic purposes, that's totally fine. No one wants the hairs coming out too far, but if that's the case, then just go around the surface and don't go all the way up into the nasal passage because then you're actually doing yourself a disservice because then those toxins, those allergens can go right into your lungs.
And cause inflammation. But I will say, if you have a dangler nose hair like Tammy does, definitely get rid of it.
No danglers.
Definitely get rid of those danglers
here.
Definitely cut out those danglers. We don't need any. I told Tammy that already. Like, get rid of all your danglers.
No danglers.
On to surprising way to cut cortisol number 3. This is drink every time you drink every time you blink. All right, not really. And we do mean water, but it is a good reminder. So the reason being is that water, you're probably thinking, what does it have to do with cortisol? Well, water, it is necessary for every process in the body. And we're talking
even for you to blink.
Even for you to blink. So here's the thing. If you are not properly hydrated, which let's face it, holiday time, we're traveling, we're eating foods like sugar, salt that just dehydrate us. And most of us in general, we're not properly hydrated. We're not giving our body the fuel it needs to efficiently activate. So when this happens and we're not fueling our body and we're not giving it, this stresses the body and this triggers inflammation. Who knew? You don't drink water and you're dehydrated and you're triggering inflammation, which then triggers which triggers cortisol.
Which then also, remember, makes weight loss, the inflammation makes weight loss harder and it makes it easier to gain weight.
And I don't think Tammy mentioned, but really when you have trigger cortisol and it triggers inflammation and then inflammation triggers cortisol, it's this vicious cycle. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. So we've got to shut down both. So by giving your body water to fuel itself, you're shutting down inflammation and you're shutting down cortisol, the belly fat hormone. So you're shutting down fat storage. Yay! And then what's even more important is when we're bombarded with life from toxins from we're just traveling, let's say we're eating
sugar, alcohol,
processed foods, and we're even consuming the toxins from the package itself. And so we need to flush it out.
She's referring to the plastic packaging that we eat our processed foods out of.
Endocrine disruptors. Every which way we go, we can't help it. We live in the world, but we can do something about it to flush it out. So we're giving our kidneys a little bit of an extra flush by making sure we drink a ton of water because it's going to flush out all those toxins. If we don't flush those toxins out, they cause inflammation. What did we just tell you? Inflammation then triggers cortisol. And then cortisol, the belly fat hormone, triggers inflammation.
The vicious cycle. So we cut it.
So
by
you are
water.
Shutting it down.
And water's such an easy one. I mean, it's something that we hear all the time, but that's why we say drink every time you blink.
And now remember, if you are drinking every time you can blink, the other thing to make sure that you do, and it's a great bonus, is if you can sweat, because then you're going to sweat out toxins. But then just make sure you drink every time you blink and every time in between you blink.
The water. We want the kidney helps to get rid of toxins, so it's a biggie there.
It's a biggie one.
Big detoxifier.
All right, so we've given you 3 surprising ways to fight belly fat by lowering cortisol, lowering your inflammation, and just cutting it out. Now give them number 4.
Number 4, we call it Get more magnesium.
Yay!
And this one, it sounds like it's like, what? Why magnesium? But here's the thing. Magnesium relaxes your brain and your muscles.
It's like a chill pill on the inside. In fact, when I find that Tammy's very anxious and I'm going to say, take a chill pill, I'm like, go take a magnesium, then come back to me.
Talk to me after that. But here's the cool thing about magnesium.
Magical.
So it is magical. It's magical because, cortisol, it gets you your stress hormone. You're all worked up. Your body's tight.
Inside.
Magnesium does exact opposite. So it calms you down. It relaxes you. So it shuts down that cortisol. So great food sources of magnesium are leafy greens,
beans,
whole grains, vegetables. So we always recommend that you try to get them throughout the day, many meals throughout the day.
To keep relaxing your body. And when we're stressed, our body uses more magnesium. So it's super important that you're really getting it throughout your day with your diet. However, our soil is pretty depleted of magnesium.
Very depleted of magnesium. So it's hard to get enough, even if you have a really good diet. So for example, before bed, we'll take some magnesium glycinate and it just makes us feel so relaxed.
The first time I ever took magnesium at night, I used to get migraines, and someone had suggested it to me. This was well before I was like really into our nutrition career, and I took it, and I literally felt like someone gave me a massage, and I slept so well. It is important to make sure you get the right form of magnesium and not just glycinate, also from a quality brand, because I will tell you, all of our clients, we have them take magnesium, and not one of them does not sleep better, one of them does not love it. But you have to take the right form. Some of them are not absorbable, you're wasting your money. Some of them
cause loose stools,
diarrhea.
So we don't want that to happen.
We don't want that, because that is pretty stressful within itself. And then you start the whole vicious cortisol, belly fat, inflammation cycle. So yeah, I mean, what you can do though is just really, I mean, you can send us an info. I think I saw, oh my gosh, one of our thank you, Katmia. Katmia says, sexy. And I think she was talking about the diarrhea we were talking about, but so funny. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So now you have it. We have the 4 surprising ways that you can lower cortisol and belly fat. And we have to say, if this has been a stressful time for you during the holidays, if you were like our clients, they say after the holidays, when the new year hits, it's like dun, dun, dun. Oh my God. Now it's like no more partying, no more fun. And now I have this belly that's with me that I have to get rid of. I'm not motivated. I've got to get rid of it. It's cold outside. So what our clients have told us is the best thing they've done is that they come to us over the holiday time, because we help them to enjoy what
the holidays
without
the
guilt.
They love.
They lower the belly fat, and they come into the new year with a step up, a leg up. They already are in the process of losing weight, and the weight just falls off, and it's so easy for them. And it's even easier because they're not around all the holiday goodies. So if this is something that might be of interest to you, where you want to come see us so we can help you enjoy the holidays while losing weight, which is pretty cool, while shutting down the body fat, belly fat, and all of the above,
shutting down the cortisol
and the inflammation, then we would love for you to consider being a client with us. All you need to do, and we're going to give you a bonus, because if you come see us during the holiday time, you deserve a bonus.
You do.
So email us at info@nutritiontwins.com. info@nutritiontwins.com, and say you saw this and you're interested in being a client and you want the holiday bonus. Say, give it to me,
Give
twins.
Me the holiday
give
bonus.
me the holiday bonus. I deserve it, and you do. And thank you. You deserve it even for watching us today. And one more thing, remember to, and if you want the magnesium, we can maybe put a link in here, the one that we get.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, we'll put a link, so that you can get it too, one that we love and that our clients love. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the hearts and love and hugs.
Bye. Bye.